What's up, players? Welcome to the Nasty Soul channel. Today we're going to check out this piece by this killing guitar player named Jules Wolfe. And we're going to vibe on 3 things that he does to make it interesting, including playing a diminished chord, sliding up the pentatonic scale, and creating a unique ending to make it pop. Alright, so if you want to follow along this lesson with Interactive Tab, check us out on Patreon. Here we go. This starts off with a pretty simple chord progression in the key of C sharp minor. We have A major, B7, and C sharp minor. And in the context of the key, we can see that as flat 6 for A, flat 7 for B, and 1 for C sharp minor. So in general, when we're playing around with this, we can play those chords, A, B, C sharp, and play a little something in C sharp minor. C sharp minor pentatonic always works great. So I got my chords, A, B, C sharp, and I could improvise in C sharp. And here's step 1 on how to spice that up. Add a diminished chord. And always the best place to add a diminished chord is before the 1 chord. So if my chord progression is A, B, C sharp minor, I could just replace the B with a C diminished chord. And if we look at this closely, we can see our B7 chord. All I have to do is raise that bass note, that root, up a half step, and that creates the C diminished chord. It's perfect. So now I could play my chord progression regularly, A, B7, C sharp. Or, next time around, I could play the C diminished chord. There we go, just a slight little change, that extra little bit of tension, that extra little bit of dissonance that pulls you into that C sharp. And that's just one extra move. So we got that. So now we have 2 different ways to play the same chord progression. A, B7, C sharp minor, or A, C diminished to C sharp minor. And they all have the same harmonic flow, and it just gives it a little bit of variation. So let's look at another way we could play this diminished chord just to add some more movement. So we already played it with the root on the A string. Let's take a look at what it is with the root on the E string, right here. And that's the main way to play it, but if we add our pinky, we could also do it like that and have that movement between that pinky and then down to the bar. So that already right there is a very simple move that you could do with the diminished chord going into our next one. So let's try that. Nice, okay. So that sounds cool, but what if we slide into it now? Let's slide in from a whole step. Okay, why don't we add one more thing, one more little ditty, all right? So we're going to slide into it, and then after we slide into it, we're going to do a really quick half step in and out, just to have this kind of little soul inflection. Just like that. Tight. Okay, so let's vibe on these 3 different ways we could play it. With the regular B7, the C diminished chord with the root on the A string, and then our whole C move that we could do, C diminished move that we could do into the C sharp minor. All right, let's check it. All right, tight. So now we got those cool moves that we could do leading into the C sharp, changing up those chords a little bit, making that interesting. So now we want to think about how can we play that C sharp minor scale in a unique way. All right, so one of those ways is to play it vertically, meaning not in the box, not that way, but up. And that's a great move to just get your slides going, so we can come from the C sharp minor chord, and then we're basically connecting into this great old pentatonic pattern that we all know right here, C sharp on the 9th fret. So we could take that right away, and then I could lead us down back to that A, number 1. Yeah, just simply connecting those two with a nice controlled slide. And that's even a good move in itself, just right there. Yeah, it's pretty. Okay, so that sounds tight. Now how about this slide move in a more harmonized fashion? So we could slide up. And the main part we want to see is the move between this C sharp minor chord on the 9th fret and then this C sharp minor chord on the 16th fret. So your E string root and your A string root. And the way we would move it is just taking these middle 3 strings, the D, the G, and the B, and then starting with this type of C sharp minor chord, bar chord. And then it's like we're sliding up from F sharp minor to G sharp minor. You know, the 4 and the 5. And then sliding up to our C sharp with the bar and then bringing down the full thing. So that's kind of how you want to see it. You want to be jumping between these two positions. And that's the move to practice, and that's the one that's just going to make it easy for you to see in that one chord and in that key. Alright, so far we got 2 cool ways to play the diminished chord, and we got 2 unique ways to approach the pentatonic scale just to make it sound interesting and unique. Now the final thing is, change up the chord progression and just add an interesting ending. Alright? So let's look at 2 unique endings that we could throw in there. So from our C sharp minor, we want to find the 6th chord, B flat, and make it a minor 7 flat 5. So this is our ending. B flat minor 7 flat 5, A minor, D7 to C sharp minor 7. And probably the easiest way to see it is to see our C sharp minor 7 and then catch that 6th chord down a minor 3rd. So we go 1, 2, 3. Yeah, right there. Then we go down a half step and across. Yeah. Okay, pretty. So now, another way we could end it, just to make it pop even more and end on a different chord, is take that A minor chord to B7. We're essentially doing a 4-5-1 in the relative major. So in the key of C sharp minor, E major is a relative major, of course, and we're going to go A minor to B7 to E major. And that's just got a unique sound as well. So I could try it both ways. The second one. So just to see if we really understand what we're doing here, let's change the key to A minor and see if we could throw these endings in here. So from A minor, I want to find my 6 and make it a minor 7 flat 5, which is F sharp minor 7 flat 5. So F minor to B flat 7. Or I could do a 4-5-1 in the relative major. So in A minor, the relative major is C major. And I'm going to make the 4 minor. So we go F minor to G7 to C major. And it just sounds interesting. So I'm coming from my A minor. The trickiest part is definitely the endings. So practice finding it in different keys and take your time and really think about it to make sure that you're doing it right, and use your ear just to see how it fits in there and you know, what it does for whatever you're doing. And it could really make it pop and just make it interesting, which is all we're trying to do. We want to sound interesting as players. If you want a comprehensive guide for neo soul guitar, check out my neo soul guitar ebook. It's got rhythm changes, it's got chord moves, it's got solo ideas, all in the neo soul style, just nicely packaged in this book for your reference at any point. So please check that out if you haven't already. And if you want the tabs for this lesson and past lessons and all that jazz, exclusive content, backing tracks, hit us up on Patreon. You can do all that and slow down the lesson, follow along with tab. It's really easy. Love it. You're supporting the channel. Thank all y'all who are already supporting the channel. Love you. We're going to keep it grow. So keep jamming and stay nasty.